Ms. Byrom.
Good morning, Commissioners
Good morning.
and Ms. Skipper. Today I would like to follow up on something that was discussed at the last board meeting, and that is contracts and covenants. I, along with my fellow residents, appreciate your consensus that this very important issue deserves to be acknowledged, respected, and most importantly, honored. Yet at the same time, I believe we're all aware that many such promises and agreements have not been kept, most recently and in the past, which brings me to my point. Last month, Blake Swafford publicized at the Airport Authority meeting that he has permitted Brett Smith of Silver Comet Terminal Partners to breach the bond agreement that Smith entered into with the Airport Authority on October 7, 2013. This contract stipulates Silver Comet Terminal Partners will pay the bond payments on the taxpayer-backed $3.6 million bonds to expand the taxiways. According to the contract, Smith's company will make the bond payments until such time that the $3.6 million is reimbursed by the FAA. By doing so, the Paulding County taxpayers are relieved of this additional tax burden. The contract also specifies that Smith's company is obligated to put $500,000 into a segregated escrow account as security for the bond payments. This is by far one of the most poorly written contracts we've ever seen, which was clearly designed for Smith's benefit through all the leniency and contradictions, most notably that the bond payments are to be made from the unrenewable escrow account. However, it does indeed state his $500,000 is to be put into escrow, which has never been done. And although Silver Comet has made the first bond payment of $403,000, by not meeting his legal obligation, what should be the remaining $97,000 escrow balance is non-existent. Therefore, the citizens are left with zero security that future bond payments will be made by Silver Comet. Regardless of the recently made bond payment, Silver Comet is still obligated to fulfill the $500,000 escrow since the escrow account was never established. Mr. Swafford's justification for not pushing Smith to pay the escrow is because Smith paid for the Airport Authority's aviation attorney to represent them during the FAA settlement. And exactly what does that have to do with him not having to honor the escrow agreement? Nothing in the contract says Silver Comet can offset the escrow payment against legal fees that they incur. One would think both Swafford and Smith would walk the straight and narrow since they're under such immense scrutiny. Clearly, Blake is working for Brett Smith and not the county to have approved this breach. Mr. Swafford is more than welcome and has our blessing to resign and officially work for Silver Comet so they can pay his salary, not Paulding taxpayers. And Mr. Austin, at the last board meeting, you professed to have made a covenant with the people of Paulding County in 2008 to do everything you could to bring opportunity to Paulding. And you've done your best to keep your word. However, little did we know what all that meant. At the November 2013 Chamber Breakfast, Brett Smith revealed what you said regarding commercialization and your constituents. You told him that if people don't like it, they don't have to vote for you. Mr. Austin, you never informed the public that you were negotiating with Propeller Investments to commercialize our airport during your 2012 campaign. Your constituents were deceived, kept in the dark, and robbed of information that may have resulted in a very different election outcome. What happened to the covenants that you made with the residents back in '08 when you promised transparency and opposed the airport? You continue to say you inherited the airport and need to make it successful, when the reality is you've chosen to ignore the residents and throw good money after the bad by expanding it instead of keeping your campaign covenants. And Mr. Carmichael, you also ran for Post 1 Commissioner in 2012, fully aware of the commercialization plans, since at that time you were an Airport Authority board member. Yet you also failed to inform your constituents of the contracts that had been entered into with Propeller Investments. Mr. Austin and Mr. Carmichael, you are also welcome to resign and go to work for Brett Smith. The taxpayers are tired of paying our leaders to work against us instead of for us. Thank you.